Hi, I'm Mr. Chesser. I teach science at FVA. So you've decided to take an online class. And unlike classes you've taken in the past, there's no way to turn in paper assignments. This has to leave you with a question. Hey, how do I turn stuff in? Knowing that this was going to be a problem, we thought we would make a handy video and a small assignment for you to try to learn how to turn stuff in. So without further ado, let's learn how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is share my screen with you so you can follow along. It's important to note, if you're watching this video because one of your teachers assigned it, this means that this is how we do expect things to be turned in, and it may be the case that we will not grade them unless they're turned in this way. You need to understand, your teachers are grading lots and lots of different assignments at different times. This is very different than your regular school. It's sometimes very hard for us to keep track of which assignment is which. So it makes it much easier for us if you will copy the assignment instructions and questions and then answer the questions associated with the questions themselves in the assignment. That'll make more sense in a minute. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. So the first thing you're going to notice here is that this is my landing page. It's probably different than yours. In fact, it's certainly different than yours because you're not in all science classes and you're certainly not taking, for example, both chemistry and pre-A chemistry at the same time. But since I'm teaching all these classes, that's what I see. I've created an assignment to teach you how to do this within the chemistry course. So just like you would click on any of your classes, I'm going to click on chemistry and we're going to see some stuff that's in there. First thing you're going to notice is this landing page. See that mine doesn't really have anything on it. I'm still working on that. On the left, you'll see a number of folders. And we're going to start in the Getting Started folder because, you know, we're getting started. The first thing you may notice is there's a number of different icons in here. Some of them are blank pages. Those are lessons that you need to read or look through. Some of them have little pictures. In my case, that means these are YouTube links. And I will often post YouTube links to lectures and other things that I think are supplemental and will help you with chemistry or whatever your subject you're taking. And then you'll notice that this one icon down here at the bottom is much like a lesson. It has a little piece of paper, but instead of being blank, it has little lines filled in. When you see a little piece of paper with lines filled in, that means that's an assignment that you need to turn in. We're going to pretend that you've gone through all these things in the Getting Started folder and are down here to this last lesson and its associated assignment called How to Turn Stuff In. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that now. So this is a very short version of what a lesson might look like for you. Normally lessons are going to have all sorts of interactive parts, lots of instructions, etc. But at the very end, there will typically be an assignment, and it will have some numbered questions like these. Notice that mine are all numbered 1. I'm not sure why that is. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can fix that. Jump cut, voila. Through the magic of cutting, I have fixed the problem. I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll start a little bit from the top just to go over this thing again with you real quickly. Here we are in chemistry. Here are some lessons, blank pages. Here are some videos. Whoops. Here are some videos, which have some little icons. And down here is a lesson and an assignment. I'm going to click on the lesson and voila, the numbers have been fixed. We're going to pretend we're at the end of this lesson. The beginning of this lesson is watching this video. And here are some instructions. Here are some questions that you're meant to answer and turn in. Now, here's an interesting problem and an interesting part about Buzz. Even though you can see the instructions and the questions here, there's no way, and I'm clicking and I'm typing on my keyboard, there's no way to add anything to this. So you can't actually answer the questions in this place. For that, you must go to the assignment. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that and show you what those typically look like. Down at the bottom, how to turn stuff in, the lesson, and how to turn stuff in the assignment. I'm gonna click on the assignment. Again, disappointingly empty, except that it says submit your assignment following the instructions in the lesson. Notice that there are no other instructions here. The instructions you find to do this assignment are here in the lesson itself at the end. Generally, you will find the assignment instructions and questions at the end of the lesson and not in the assignment. This is a little weird, but that's how Buzz does it, and I wanted to make sure you knew that. So, also on this screen, remember, we're in the assignment portion. It has little lines down here as if the paper's filled out. There's a button that says Show Dropbox. This is where you're actually going to put in your assignment details, what you're turning in. So, how do we do that? To start with, the instructions are in the lesson, so I'm going to go back there. How to turn stuff in, that's the lesson here. Instructions. Please watch the video. How to turn stuff in. Hey, that's this one. First, then follow the instructions there in order to complete the assignment. Remember, Chesser is a total jerk, so if you turn stuff in the future without following these instructions, then he's just going to refuse to grade it. If you're watching this for some other teacher other than Chesser, they may or may not be a jerk, but I can tell you that Chesser sure is. I know him very well. Here are some questions. And the problem for your teachers is if you just put the answers to those questions in the assignment, which I'm going to go to now. For example, in this Dropbox, let's say you just started typing, my name is Jim. Oops, I've just noticed another problem. Hang on, we'll be back. So it turns out that since the course isn't live and I'm not enrolled in it, I can't turn anything in right now. That's the easiest part at the end. So we're going to skip that part for now. I'm going to show you everything leading up to it. All right, back to activities. So here's your assignment Dropbox. If you just typed in this box, which is one of the options, or you just pasted in answers in this box, your teacher would have no idea how to tell which questions you are answering. So what we like for you to do is instead copy and paste the assignment into a Word document. And I'm going to walk you through that process. The first thing that you need to know, and I'm going to switch my share so you can see my desktop. Hold on one second. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my desktop, and I'm going to show you a trick here. If you right-click on your desktop, you can click New and then start a new folder. I'm going to recommend you do organization of some type like this for each of your classes. In this case, we're working on chemistry, so I'm going to name this folder Chemistry. And then I'm going to go ahead and double-click that, and inside of this folder, I'm going to right-click, then click New, and click Folder. And I'm going to name this folder Getting Started, because that's the name of the first unit, and that's right now the unit where this assignment is. And actually, I'm going to put a number 1 in front of that, because that will make the folders order themselves by the numbers instead of alphabetically. And then I'm going to right-click and make another new folder and call it 2 Chemistry and U, which I think is the name of the second unit. Do the third unit, the fourth unit, etc. And then if you wanted to get real crazy with it, You could go ahead and break that into 2 different semesters. This just helps you stay organized. Then I'm going to double click in the Getting Started folder, and another trick you may not know, I'm going to right click in here and do New, but this I'm going to choose a Word document. You could choose a PowerPoint from here, Publisher document, Excel worksheet. There's a bunch of things you could do by doing this. It's just an old Microsoft trick. So I'm going to start a Word document, and I'm going to call this Word document How to Turn Stuff In. That way, it's named exactly the same as the assignment we're about to do. Now, if I double click that, it's going to open the Word document, and there it is. Now, by going to Zoom, here we are back at Zoom, back in the chemistry unit, we can go to the How to Turn Stuff In assignment. Now remember, the assignment here is just going to mostly be blank. It just says, go to the instructions in the lesson. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to actually go to the lesson itself. Oh, we're highlighting everything for some reason. Sorry, things are screwy. That's fine. I'm going to open the lesson. Why is everything? There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight everything on this page. Now you could right click and do copy now. I'm actually going to do Control C, which is a different shortcut for copying. So I've copied that, Control C. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go to the Word document, and you could right click and do paste now, but I'm going to do Control V, which is another shortcut. Now you can see that you have this assignment, the instructions and the title saved. Go ahead and save that. I'm going to close it. Here we are back at our desktop. If I open it again, there's the assignment, and we can start answering it now. I'm going to make sure you can see that Word document by sharing that with you. So here's the Word document. Now, you don't necessarily have to put your name on this, because when you turn it in, it will be associated with your turn-in stuff automatically. So when I grade it, it's going to go back to you. But what is really important is that you copy the instructions and all the questions, okay? This is for both your teacher and for you. This will make sure you're answering the right questions and you're following the right instructions as you do this assignment. Once you've pasted this in, you can edit this document. So for example, I'm going to click here next to the first question, what is your name? I'm going to hit enter. Notice that there's not really enough space for me to answer there. I'm going to hit enter a couple times. I'm going to redo what I just did so you can see it. I'm going to undo this. There we go. When I click here and I click enter, you'll notice the first thing that happens is it thinks I want to make another list item. So it adds a 2. If I hit backspace, that'll go away, and now I can type an answer in here. One thing that's incredibly helpful for your teachers is for you to either change the color, which we can do up here, of your answer. I'm going to change it to blue, maybe a light blue, or change the font, or maybe both. Let's choose, I don't know, Arial. Arial black, how about? And now when I answer, it's very clear which is the question and which is the answer. And this makes it way easier for your teacher to tell how you're trying to answer a question, which part is your answer versus which part is the question. This makes it way easier for us to grade, which probably means more points for you. Second question. You notice I hit enter, it tries to add a number. I'm going to go ahead and delete that again. Now, it has no longer kept my formatting because it thinks that because of the way Word works, it thinks I want this new formatting, but I'll show you a trick for that too. What is your quest? To teach students chemistry. Now, notice that it's a little hard to tell the difference between the question and the answer here. But if you click up here where you did your formatting before, and go up to the left and choose Format Painter, which is this little paintbrush on the top left, and then highlight your answer. Bam, look at that. Now it's very clear where the question is, where the answer is. That means more points for you. I'm not going to answer everything here, but let's pretend you've gone through and answered all the questions. Once you've done that, you're going to save your Word document. Remember, if you don't save, you're going to lose your information. And close your Word document. Remember, the questions are found in the lesson. The turn-in is found in the assignment. And I'm going to click on the assignment. Now, the only weird thing is, because I'm not a student and I'm not enrolled, when I click Show Dropbox or Hide Dropbox, there's no way to turn anything in. Notice attachments none, comments none. If I were a student in this class, here under attachments, I would be able to attach a file. And in this case, what we would want to attach is, I go back to the desktop, we would want to attach this file, how to turn stuff in. You could probably even drag it and drop it. There we go. It did not move it because I'm not enrolled as a student, but you could drag it and drop it into this window. You can click, there would be a little paper clip that you can click to add attachments. You could add the assignment right here and then click Submit, which is right here, and that would turn the assignment in. I'm going to stop sharing now. And there we go. So I know that was a lot. We're happy to answer questions. It's important that every time you turn in an assignment, you follow the instructions in this video. Go to the assignment itself, copy the instructions and the questions, paste those into a Word document or Google document, we don't care. You can use the thing that works best for you. Answer the questions. Change the font in some way so we know how to separate your answers from the questions. This makes everything easier for us to grade and also for you if you want to do some new work on that assignment later to raise your grade. If you have questions, please ask your teachers. Now that you're finished watching this video, please follow the instructions I've just given you and turn this assignment in. It will be graded. Thanks.